Hi, everybody. Recommendations from Mrs. Jeffrey. She recommended you see my face. And today's video is going to be a lot shorter. We're going to be talking about three things. First up is why learn Spanish. Second, pizza or tacos. That's going to be fun. Or Cinco, and the last one is Cinco de Mayo. All right, so why learn Spanish, guys? We've talked about this before, but when you grow up, it'll be really cool if you can learn another language because it'll increase how much money you make. There are 21 additional countries that speak Spanish. So if you can speak Spanish, and let's say you're a lawyer, it means you can do business here in the United States and in those 21 countries. Let's say you become a doctor. If you're a doctor and you learn to speak Spanish, you'll be able to communicate to a lot more people. By the time you're an adult, something like 40% of the people in the United States are going to be able to speak Spanish. And if you want to move somewhere else, you'll have that other opportunity. Let's get into more why now, why it's important for you now. Do you guys know why it's called the coronavirus? As you see from this picture, the virus under a microscope looks like it's wearing a crown. The word corona is Spanish for crown, corona. It's called the coronavirus because of the Spanish word for crown. All right, let's get even deeper into it. We are currently under quarantine. Do you know why it's called quarantine? Well, if a ship in olden days would come from a place that had a virus, an outbreak, the ship would have to stay 40 days at port. The people were not allowed to get off the ship. Quarantine comes from the Spanish word for 40, cuarenta. Except in English, when you hear the qua sound, you use a Q. So when we spell it, we do a QU. But it's the Spanish word for quarantine. As you grow up, you're going to find out anything scientific, medical is going to be rooted in Latin, which is the foundation of Spanish. If you learn this stuff, if you learn what I'm teaching you in Spanish class, you'll be better prepared for lawyer classes, for medical classes, law classes, not lawyer classes. And so that's one of the reasons why it's so important for you guys to be practicing your Spanish. I'm seeing a lot of fifth graders on Duolingo. I am not seeing a lot of students in third grade. Duolingo. I've sent out papers telling you how to log into this website. It is great. I have it connected to my accounts, so you'll be able to not you'll be able to. I will be able to see what you're doing. Sorry, I needed to go to school Duolingo. I don't know if you noticed that, but in my Duolingo, I'm learning French. There's always something else to learn. German, Spanish, French. All right, while that's loading up and we're looking at the classrooms, let's look at our lesson plan for the day. So, number 2, taco or pizza. This came up with my son Monday. My son we were trying to figure out what we're going to eat for dinner. So he said, should we have tacos, Dad, or should we have pizza? He wanted to have pizza. He loves pizza, but I wanted to have tacos. So we're having an argument about which one's better. Which one do you think is better? Wrong. The actual answer is tacos. And here's why tacos. Oh, here are the classes. So Lep's class has 25. Great job. Prince's class only has 3. I'm seeing what you're doing. And more important, I'm seeing that only 4 people in Ren's class have signed up for Duolingo. Only 2 people in AJ's. Let's get on that, guys. The reason that tacos are better than pizza is because tacos are the original, guys. What do I mean by that? Well, in Europe, hundreds of years ago, people would not eat tomatoes. It wasn't until Christopher Columbus came to the United States and people saw the Aztecs, as we see here, Aztecs around 700 AD, were eating the tomatoes that they realized tomatoes weren't poisonous. Without the native people of Mexico, Europeans would not have been eating tomatoes. Even after they started eating tomatoes, after the discovery of the New World, only the poor people were eating them. Rich people had plates that were made of pewter, a type of metal that has some combination of lead. And because tomatoes are so acidic, they cause the lead to leach out of the food, onto the food. So the fancy plates with a tomato on it made the lead come out of the plate and it became poisonous for them. So people thought that tomatoes were poisonous, and it wasn't until really long time, until the 1800s, so that's 300 years after Europeans started using tomatoes, that pizzas were made. So tacos were the original. In a taco, you have all your stuff on top, then you put some delicious tomatoes on top, or even better, a salsa. Smash up some tomatoes, put in some onions, some, I gotta stop. I'm making myself hungry. And that's why tacos are the best, because tacos were the originator. Also, corn. I love corn. Corn has a great history as well. Corn used to look like this, like a grass seed. If you see here, here's a quarter. Here's what corn used to look like. The native people of Mexico and Peru, I believe, started cultivating it and making it bigger and bigger. They just take the biggest ones and then plant them again, and the biggest ones and plant them again. And this corn making is how we make tortillas. And that tortilla is kind of the foundation of what the flat pizza. If you've ever seen a tortilla, it's a circle. Well, that's what the pizza ended up being in Europe, like a flat, but they make theirs out of wheat. So I believe, since tacos were the original, that makes tacos better. But I'm old school. I like original. Alrighty. So that's a cool little lesson. Tomatoes were cultivated in Mexico by the Aztecs, and then brought over to Europe after that. And that could you imagine the pizza without tomato sauce? Spaghetti without tomato sauce. Yeah, that's how they used to eat it. So sad. Without the influence of Mexico. Speaking of Mexico, we're now going to talk about Cinco de Mayo, which is the 5th of May. 5th of May. Now, please remember, as you're celebrating Cinco de Mayo is not Mexico's Independence Day. It is not like the 4th of July, okay? 4th of July. Mexico's Independence Day is not Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo, it was just one fight in a place called Pueblo. It was such a small little city that the word Pueblo literally means town. So the town was called town, Puebla. Excuse me, I made it a masculine. I believe it's Puebla. So this town was so small, it's called town. It was not a big fight. The people who came from that town, who came to the United States, those people celebrate it because it's important to them, but it's not really popular in Mexico. There are no Cinco de Mayo parties in Mexico. It's an American thing. Why is it an American thing? America has this thing about taking a culture and kind of trying to sell things using that culture, like St. Patrick's Day. So not a real thing. It's not really, well, it's not a holiday in Mexico. That's the best way to put it. It's become this Mexican American thing, which is kind of cool because, it's different if you're a Mexican American, if you're born here. All right, guys. So that's it for today. We did why learn Spanish. Remember, the root of a lot of legal terms and medical terms are going to be in Latin. And if you know Spanish, those terms will be easier for you to remember. Not to mention the job opportunities you'll have if you have 21 countries, populations able to work for. Tacos or pizza. Tomatoes came from Mexico. And Cinco de Mayo is not Mexico's Independence Day. I'd like to see you guys on Duolingo. if you don't have the information, just go to Duolingo and sign up for it. Use any email. Your parents can help you out. Later on, once you're in there, I can give you the code so that we could share things through the, well, not share things, so I can see your progress. I have sent out the video before. I will send out it again. We have sheets of paper. Each individual classroom has a different code. Maybe I'll do a video of just the codes, hopefully, since these videos are doing a lot better than the emails. And I understand. All right, I miss you. I miss playing the guitar with you guys and relaxing, and it's been pretty boring without you. Hopefully I'll see you very soon.